Alright, we're doing section 4.3, finding terms in a sequence. So the essential question is, how can you use a function to find terms in a sequence? This is really going to be a lot of practice problems, and we're just going to be working through these practice problems. I want to be specific, we are only going to look at arithmetic sequences right now, although all of what we learn about these arithmetic sequences can be applied to geometric as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think about, if given a function for an arithmetic sequence, let's go ahead and find the 34th term. So we've already learned this. All we got to do is, if we want to find the 34th term, we're just going to plug 34 in for n. Okay? Just plug 34 in for n. And then we would just solve this out. So the first thing we would do is 7 times 34, which gives us 238. And then we would subtract 11, which would give us 227. 227, yeah. So that's our 34th term. Okay, what if it asked us to find the first 4 terms? It's not giving us a specific number to plug in. It's not asking us for the 34th, or the 10th, or the 5th, or the 7th term. It's saying find the first 4. Okay? Well, the first 4 is just the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So let's find the first term. That would be a of 1, right? It's the first term. And let's plug a 1 in for n. Okay, when we do that, negative 11 plus 7, which gives us negative 4. That's our first term. Okay? Let's find our second term. Negative 11 plus 7 times 2. Okay, we get negative 11 plus 14, which is going to give us 3. Okay, we could continue with that exact same process. We could find a of 3. Negative 11 plus 7 times 3. Okay, this works fine. Negative 11 plus 21, which gives us 10. Works perfectly fine. We can do that for all 4 terms. But let's consider for a second that we just did all that work for the first 2 terms, and we got negative 4 and 3. We could look to see, oh, hey, check it out, we're adding 7. Okay, the next term was 10. Oh, hey, check it out, we're adding 7. So we're obviously going to add 7 again, and we get 17. And look at where that 7 came from. It was the coefficient of our variable, and it always will be. Alright, cool stuff. So that should have been on the right-hand side. So now you need to work on this one on the left-hand side. A of n is equal to 65 minus 100n. Alright, I want you guys to find the 39th term, and I want you to find the first 4 terms. So you should be finding 5 terms total. Make sure you complete this on the left-hand side. Alright, if you're back with me, I'm assuming you've already completed this. I'm not going to give you guys the answers to these because we're going to do a lot together. Alright, sticking with the same idea, we're going to do a little bit more of a complex one. We're going to look at a of n is equal to 11/8 plus 1/2 n. And we're going to be looking for the 23rd term. Same thing we did before, that 23 just means that's what we plug in for n. So we got 11/8 plus 1/2 times 23. Since everything here is dealing with fractions, I'm going to make my life easier and go ahead and change that 23 into a fraction. And then we're just going to see what happens. So we get 11/8 is equal to 23, not equal to, plus 23/2. Awesome. Now in order to add fractions, we've got to get like common denominators. So for common denominators, we've got a 2 and an 8. So the 8's good. We're just going to multiply this fraction over here times 4/4. Okay, which is going to give us 11/8 plus, and then 23 times 4 gives us 92. And when we combine these together, we're going to get 103/8. We don't need to simplify anymore. That's good. So our 23rd term is 103/8. Okay, also we got to find the first 4 terms though. Remember, in order to find the first 4 terms, we could take a 1, plug it in for n, a 2, plug it in for n, a 3, and so on. There's another way, so I'm going to do that for the first term. You guys got to do it for the first term. So a of 1 is equal to 11/8 plus 1/2 times 1. Anything times 1 is just itself, so 11/8 plus 1/2. Again, we got to get the common denominators, so we multiply by 4/4, and we're going to get 11/8 plus 4/8, which is going to give us 15/8. Okay, that's our first term of our sequence. And now we're thinking we are adding something each time. Remember, it comes from right there. It's our coefficient of our variable. That's our difference. So we're just going to use that to get our next 4 terms. But let's go ahead and change the difference real quickly because we want it to be like denominators, common denominators, so that we can add it pretty quick. So let's go ahead and change our difference so that it has a denominator of 8. Multiply by 4/4, and we get 4/8. Perfect. 4/8 and 1/2, those are equivalent. So when we're looking for our first 4 terms, we know our first term is 15/8. Our second term means we need to add 4/8. So we get 19/8. Our next one we need to add 4/8. So we get 23/8 and 27/8 and so on. Alright, we got our sequence. Cool. So I want you guys to try one out again on the left-hand side. Remember, this should have been on the right-hand side so far. And yours will not be as crazy complex as this one. Okay, so the one you guys are going to do is still arithmetic. It's all that we're dealing with today. Negative 7.1 minus 2.1n. Go ahead and find me the 27th term. And I'd also like you to find me the first 4 terms of the sequence. Pause the video and come back when you are done. Alright, if you're back with me, I'm assuming you've already completed this one on the left-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and we got some more examples to do. So now, what about if you are just given the first term and the difference? What can we do from here? Can we find the first 5 terms? I know we can find a formula, so let's just work on finding the first 4 terms. Well, our first term is 28, and we know from our difference that we are adding 10 each time. So we got 38, 48, and so on. So I'm going to give you guys one to work on. That one was pretty easy. I want you to try to find the first 4 terms in a sequence where the first term is 35 and the difference is 4. Go ahead and make sure you do that on the left-hand side. Go ahead and find me the first 4 terms. Okay? Can you erase this? Already completed this on the left-hand side? Right, one more by me, and then you guys will be doing one more as well. So if your first term is negative 34, and your difference is negative 10, we want to write out the first 4 terms, so we get negative 34. We know that we are subtracting 10 each time, so it's getting smaller numbers, so we're making it more negative, so negative 44. Subtracting 10, negative 54, and so on. I'm sorry, I was supposed to get the first 4 terms.